What is happening, folks? Just wanted to hop on and just give my wrestling rant, because I've been a lifelong wrestling fan. Been a wrestling fan since I got here. My dad used to take me all the time when I was a kid to the Richmond Coliseum. We go see NWA. All the territories and stuff used to come through. And in the 90s, we always went during the Attitude Era. We stayed at the Coliseum because they always came. Right? So it was always here. I mean, during the Attitude Era. I mean, oh my goodness gracious. We stayed at the Coliseum for Raw, for Nitro, when SmackDown came, when Thunder was here. I mean, my brother, my cousin, we were there all the time. I mean, we would skip school to go hang out at the mall to see the wrestlers there. We met the New Age Outlaws, got to hold the titles. Those belts are pretty heavy. Those ones back then were heavy. I mean, we saw Undertaker. That's a tall dude. Okay, we saw Undertaker. We saw Rock, Stone Cold. We were at the Coliseum the night The Rock did the People's Elbow on a British Bulldog, where he slid in his dress shoes. Yes, that was at the Richmond Coliseum. Look it up. I know, I was there. Where he slid into the People's Elbow in his dress shoes. So, again, been a fan since I could visibly see it, because my dad was a fan. My dad, Nature Boy Ric Flair, his all-time favorite wrestler. And just like mine, my all-time favorite is Triple H. Because, hey, he modeled himself and he studied Ric Flair and he studied the greats. That's why I'm a Triple H guy. I'm a Triple H guy through and through. But I mean, I grew up just loving wrestling because it was good. It was fun. It looked real, although we knew it wasn't like, they're not really like beating each other up like for real. At the same time, you can tell, like, hey, these guys are super athletic. They're doing things that normal people can't do. And it looks cool. And these guys look like they can mess you up in a real fight. But, I mean, it was such a good thing to see. And watching it now, being as though I watched it since I was a kid, I can tell pretty much 85% of what's gonna happen. But when I look at AEW, I'm talking about, I can tell 85% of what happened on WWE. I can tell what's gonna happen. But same thing with AEW, I can tell what's gonna happen because they keep doing the same thing. Everything looks the same. How many times you gotta dive out the ring? You gotta dive out the ring every match? Everyone has to do a dive? Everybody? If everyone does it, it doesn't mean anything. It ain't even special if everyone does it. And I'm just I can get through the matches. I can get through the matches, because they're super athletic. So they do have that going. But it's when certain people come on there, one or two things happen. Either I turn it and I don't ever go back, or I fall asleep. And that's anytime Chris Jericho comes out. And I'm a Jericho. I was a Jericho fan. I mean, I was a Jerichoholic through and through. I was a fan of Jericho back when he was in WCW, putting his foot on people, talking some, come on, baby, when he was trying to pin people doing that. Just ridiculous stuff. And I was a fan of that. What he's doing now, the learning tree, first of all, mouthful to say. Second of all, what? Third, you should not hear, please retire. The crowd should not be telling you to retire. That means it's time to go home. Just go home. And you got I hope he has plenty of money. I'm sure he does. Go home. This ain't it, man. This is bad. Like, really bad. And anytime I see the Young Bucks, just yawn. Yawn. They're so boring and uninteresting and unimposing. How do you guys have power of anything? You guys are literally my size, and I am 5'8", 165. You're my size. No one my size can tell me to do anything ridiculous. Are you crazy? Ridiculous. And these guys are the EVPs calling the shots, and it's obvious that they're gonna try to give a title to Jack Perry, which again, he's a small guy. I think I'm bigger than him. I'm like, dude, when I see those three, I gotta mention another one too. Oh, Orange Cassidy. Oh. The whole gimmick with you being a slacker and putting your hands in your pockets is just stupid. I mean, so stupid. Whenever I see him, and I don't know why he been starting the program off. Why is he usually in the first match? I like Ospreay. I like Swerve. Why do I gotta see this dude in the first match? And he wins. What? He is every definition of the word jobber. God, man. Oh, whenever I see him, little Young Bucks, Jericho, get him off my TV. Get him off. Oh, just awful. Awful. They're women's wrestling. Okay, all right. That's just in general. Whatever. That makes me like, all right, let me start playing on my phone or something, because good grief, I don't know what's happening with that. But I mean, they got some good stuff, because Ospreay is dope. I would love to see him and Swerve have a match that means something, for a title that means something. I mean, everyone got a belt over there. It's like 50 titles over there. Everyone has a belt. I mean, consolidate some of this stuff, unify, do whatever. But having 300 champions in your roster's 400, those belts don't mean anything. They're not prestigious. You know, they don't represent like this person has achieved a great feat. No, it just means, okay, this one got a belt. Okay, that one got a belt. Okay, we all got belts. Woo! Everybody got a belt. And it's again, the matches for the most part are entertaining, except for that death match stuff. That awful. Gross. Okay, but gross. Gross. I don't need to see people bleed every single time they're in the ring. Jon Moxley, why? Why must you bleed whenever you're in the ring? You don't have to bleed every match. Good grief, man. That gets old. That gets old real quick, too. I got sick of seeing Abdullah Butcher do it. And that was back in the day. I got sick of seeing him do it. But, I get Swerve is dope. Ospreay, I like him. MJF, I like him. He's good on the mic, and he knows how to wrestle. I know it's not gonna ever be back like it was during the Monday Night Wars, where you constantly back and forth like, hey, which one is what? What is that? Then third. I know it'll never be like that again. But I would like just, I don't know about other people. Other people may love it and not care at all. But there's people who grew up wrestling fans. Well, like, just see a little throwback. A little throwback to when wrestling was, you couldn't, you weren't in on the secret. Like, like you had your suspicions, but you weren't 100% sure. You know what I mean? But it's like some of those guys, man, you can tell they're in it for themselves. They're not in it just to make not in it to make the business grow and entertain people. They're in it to entertain themselves. And you can see it in their matches. You got 500 moves that you're doing, and all those super kicks. Oh my! I do not need to see their super kicks suck. God, does Young Bucks super kicks suck. I would rather see the Usos do the super kick 40 times than to see them do it twice, because I don't like their super kicks. Suck. They absolutely suck. No one ever has been able to do it quite like Shawn Michaels, and no one ever will. But my goodness gracious, man, their super kicks are terrible. Ugh. Can't stand it. So I just turn it. Whenever I've seen enough of their matches to know what they're gonna do. You only need to watch 3 of them, and you have the entire moveset, because they do the entire moveset every single match. And God, man, it's just me as a fan, just as a fan of wrestling. I just want them to have better storylines, because you can't watch AEW for storylines. You got to watch it purely just for the when they put on the matches, for the most part. For those who actually wrestle and don't want to do all the goofy deathmatch stuff all the time. That's what that's for, bro. If you like story with the matches too, yeah, you can forget that. That is not it. Storytelling is not their strong suit. WWE, they tell their stories. I've been enthralled in the Bloodline. Now the new iteration Bloodline is a little shaky. I'm not gonna lie about that. A little shaky, but back during the pandemic, oh man, oh my goodness. I didn't get in on it until literally last year. I got back into wrestling last year. It was my brother. He kept telling me, like, "Hey man, no, you gotta watch it. It's different now." Because he kept telling me about Roman Reigns and the Bloodline. He's like, "It's different now. You gotta watch it." So I finally did, like last year, and I revisited everything. I went back to when I stopped watching it from 2013 to now. So yeah, I caught up, like really caught up. And just that storytelling alone had me hooked. It had me hooked. But AEW, their storytelling needs work. I mean, just how these matches come about. How, like, why are so many titles? Why? Just why? Why? Like I said, Ospreay, I think he'll be a good addition, man. Just put him in with the right people. Don't let him partner with Orange Cassidy anymore. Ever. Please. Man, get your hands out your pockets, man. Please take the hands out the pockets. It's old now. You've been doing that for years now. It's old.